Good morning. My name is Tiana, and I'm one of the training managers here at Extended Stay of America. I first would like to take the time to congratulate you and welcome you to your new role as General Manager. Before we get into today's lessons, we would like to do a quick recap on how we set our teams up for success as well as our night launching processes. When we think of our team success, we're ensuring that they have the knowledge, the skills, and the tools they need to do their jobs. One of the ways that Extended Stay makes sure we have the tools we need to make them successful is by ensuring that everyone is conducting their morning quick hits daily. Of course, we're pointing out our accomplishments, our weaknesses, the areas of improvement, and anything that's coming up as far as ESU trainings and anything like that. So this is, of course, a huge tool. Can't stress it enough on making our team successful. Now, when we are going into our night launching processes, we're ensuring that we know exactly what our night launch attendant is responsible for, so that way we can minimize damage and loss. So it all begins with ensuring each housekeeping cart is set for only 4 rooms. So they have 4 rooms of linen, and which our carts are restocked every 4 rooms. Once we went through our housekeeper cart setup, we went through the pick process. The pick process is just ensuring that we're not just stuffing our washers, we're going through pre-treating, we're ensuring that the stains that did not come out then goes through a reclaim process, and just ensuring that our processes are being followed. Once we go through the pick process, the last is our folding guidelines. The reason why folding guidelines are important is because, again, these are the guidelines that are set to make everything consistent across the board. So that way everything is easy to count and it's easy to stack, and it makes everything more organized. Now, as we start in today's lessons, we will be going over our grab and go area as well as our GSR workflow. So, now that we have a full understanding of how to set our teams up for success and our night launching processes, we can take the next few hours and go into today's lesson. Our first lesson that we will be going over today will be our grab and go breakfast area. During our grab and go breakfast time, the 3 areas that we're paying attention to is how we are to set up the breakfast area during operation hours, how we are maintaining grab and go during operations hours, and then once operation hours are over, how do we properly break down and clean our grab and go area. Once we familiarize ourselves with our first lesson of today, we're going to move into our next lesson, which is placing orders in Verian. Placing orders in Verian is something we typically do once a month here at Extended Stay, and this is giving our employees the tools that they need to succeed. So while we're in Verian today, we want to make sure that we're going in, we're playing in the system, we're figuring out what everything is, which vendors sell what, and we're making note of any questions or concerns we may have. Then, once we complete our ordering lesson in Verian, we're going to move into our GSR workflow. Now, with our GSR workflow, these are the steps that our GSR takes from the time that they clock in for today up until the time they leave. It pretty much gives them a process to follow that's going to keep everyone consistent across the board. Now, during the GSR workflow lesson, we want to make sure that we're going over the communication log, which of course is how we communicate from shift to shift and from associate to management. We're making sure that we are learning what Make It Right is, which is our service recovery module. We're going into details on what our guest experience is, and then of course what first impressions are and how they have a direct reflection up to the guest experience. So these are all the lessons and the different topics that we will be focusing on today.